Good day guys and welcome to NJ Bonsai Vlog and today medyo nasa sala tayo ng isang bahay. Wala tayo sa usual na area kung saan tayo nagbo-vlog. Okay? Wala rin tayong bonsai na hinawakan o gagalawin ngayon, no? But this is going to be the start of our series of lessons, no, concerning bonsai. Mga basic topics in bonsai that I just want to share in my vlog para sa inyo, no? And then para magamit din natin later on pag gumagalaw tayo ng bonsai para meron tayong reference na gagawin. Okay, just a clarification. The things that I'm going to share sa inyo is of course things that I've learned over time. Hindi to akin, no? These are available online. This is also a product of more than a decade na nakikisabay ako at nakikisali ako sa mga nagbo-bonsai. Ito yung natutunan ko rin sa kanila, members of the Mindanao Bonsai Society and my group, yung Sayap Bonsai Society. So, yeah, this is an accumulation of lahat-lahat ng maraming mga learnings from sa iba-ibang tao at iba-ibang grupo, and including na rin sa internet. I don't want to say na may monopoly ako ng knowledge, no? Okay? Basic lang talaga yung gagalawin natin. There are mas malalim na available na explanation on what is bonsai in the internet, especially in YouTube. No? So it's already 2020 and some are predicting na within this decade everything will be on the internet. So yeah, if there are things na hindi ko ma-explain, I'm sure using Google, searching it in YouTube, makikita nyo siya sa loob, no? But I will just do this for the purpose na meron tayong basis, no? Meron tayong video on our vlog, on my channel, sa mga gagawin nating lectures. So what are we going to be talking about today, no? Ang pag-uusapan natin ngayon is of course the very basic thing, no? Kung ano ba yung bonsai. What's the meaning of bonsai, and then a short background on the commonly accepted history of bonsai. Very brief lang for this video. Okay, so let's start with the words bonsai, no? So I've made very rough, sinulat ko lang sa ano. Okay. Ayan. Okay, no? So bonsai has two words, no? Japanese terms. Okay. First is bon. Okay, bon means pot or tray or container, no? Yung lalagyan. So, and then the other word is sai, which loosely means, no, the plant or the tree, no? So when you combine that together, so yung bonsai, no, pag iisipin natin, bonsai would mean na isang tanim na nasa isang paso or nasa isang container, no? But that would be very conflicting, no? Mahirap 'yon kasi marami namang tanim na nasa paso. Okay? So, what differentiates bonsai from other ornamental plants na nasa paso is of course yung mga different aesthetic principles na pinapasok sa kanya, no? But we will move on to that later. So again, no, when you say bonsai, it is a pot on a tree. Sorry, it is a plant or a tree, no, on a pot. I'm really sorry. Medyo shaky pa. Okay, so yun, no. So, but hindi lahat ng nakapasong tanim ay maaaring bonsai. Okay? So, pag sinabing bonsai, ang dami nating naiisip, no, there are words, for example, na na-associate natin sa bonsai. For example, miniature, no? That is a word na madalas na-attach sa bonsai, no? Pag sinabing miniature, maliit, no? A very small version of something that is large, no? Okay? Miniaturize, no? So, pag sinabing bonsai, isip natin, kahoy siya, pero maliit siya na kahoy. It's inspired by a malaking kahoy from nature, no? So, maliit, no? So, pag sinabing bonsai. And then, meron din yung dwarfing. Now, medyo delikado to siya, no? Pag sinasabi natin bonsai, dwarf, bantot, no? Okay? Hindi kasi sa bonsai kasi, hindi pino-force na gawing dwarf yung tree. Okay? Hindi dahil bonsai siya, pinilit siya na maging bonsai. Okay? The thing is, buhay yung tanim, kailangan alagaan, at hindi siya dapat pilitin na paliitin. Okay? But, dwarfing is a word that is really associated with the term or the word bonsai. What else? Bantot. No? Okay? And then bonsai, if you go deeper, pwede natin masabing it's an art form. Okay, in Japan, kasi bonsai is really associated sa country na Japan. It's really deeply connected sa Japan, no? So it's a cultural art form, no? Nakilala ang bonsai because of Japan, and Japan is, no? And of course, if you're born in the 80s and even 70s, napanood nyo yung original na The Karate Kid, no? That is a movie na paborito ng mga bonsai artists or bonsaiist na pinanganak siguro 60s, 70s, and 80s, no? Okay, kasi naabutan nila si Mr. Miyagi, no, yung wash in, wash out, no. So okay, it's a cultural art form, no, and then it's associated sa country na Japan. And then if you go deeper, kasi bonsai is an art form, then bonsai is a creative expression. Okay? Creative expression siya, no? An artist expresses his ideas, his artistry using a plant as a medium of his art form, which will become what is bonsai, no? Okay? So now, going back, what would differentiate bonsai from other plants na nasa container? Anong pagkakaiba nila, no? Okay? So kung titingnan natin, in general, bonsai becomes, no, a tree in a pot with aesthetic principles applied. Okay? What are aesthetic principles in bonsai? Kasi art form siya, it's an art, fine arts, visual arts, no? Fine arts or visual arts. Okay, for example, concept ng lines, meron yan sa bonsai. Balance, no? Those terms. Asymmetry, no? Those are terms na, no? Depth, for example, no? Depth, no? Yung lalim, no? Kasi visual siya, no? It involves naka-attach sa dun sa pag-prepare ng mga sanga ng kahoy, no? Lalo yung depth, lalo na sa likod, no? Kailangan pag tingnan mo yung kahoy, hindi lang siya one side, no? Dapat basta, no? We will talk about those aesthetic principles as we move along. So yun, tree siya in a pot with aesthetic principles that differentiates bonsai from other horticultural plants or ornamental plants, no? Kaya nga sinasabi natin, hindi lahat ng tanim na nasa paso ay bonsai. And then, of course, when you say bonsai, yung bon is paso. There are specific, no, yung paso na para sa bonsai is really paso na para sa bonsai lang, no? You cannot use yung usual na ginagamit natin na paso sa mga ornamental plants natin, no? Hindi lahat ng pwedeng gamitin doon pwede mong gamitin sa bonsai, no? Mayroong specific na paso lang and specific design, specific shape na para lang talaga sa bonsai, no? At kasali yon sa kanyang aesthetic principles, no? Para maging maganda siya. Okay? So it is an art, no? Kasi mayroong aesthetic principles yung bonsai. And then kasi buhay yung tanim, no? Because the plant is alive. It's a living thing. Okay? Mayroong science na involved. Particularly horticulture. Okay? Inaalagaan mo yung tanim. Dinidiligan mo. Pinagsisikapan mo hindi mamatay at dapat mabuhay at dapat lumago. Okay? So, mayroong science. So, it's both an art and a science. Kaya nga, may mga tao, no? Okay? Dahil sa combination, because of that combination of art and science, may mga taong nagsasabi na ang bonsai daw is the highest form of art, or art form, no? Okay, I don't know if you will agree or not, no? Kasi the fact na buhay, no, yung material, yung medium for the art, no, for the art, it makes it more difficult, no? Sabi nga ng mga nagbo-bonsai, walang tapos na bonsai. Okay? As long as the tree is alive, the training and the care no? And then the application of the aesthetic principles ay continuous, no? So imagine for a bonsai tree na abot ng 200 years at nare-retain niya pa rin at mas lalo pa nga over time pag tumatagal yung tanim, mas nagiging maganda pa rin, no? So mas nagiging difficult siguro yung pag-aalaga, which involves the horticultural aspect of the tree. So magkasabay science and art. So medyo mahirap siya, no? If you compare it to other arts, no, huwag naman natin i-compare, no? But ang ibang art form kasi, if they, pag nagawa na nila, pwede na nilang ipa-photocopy. For example, a novel, a short story, no? Writing short stories is an art, no? After the story is written, okay, after the story is written, it can be reproduced, okay, na walang walang pagbabago doon sa ginawa, no? From its original form. In the case of bonsai, after siyang nagawa, hindi siya natatapos, no? Continuous na ginagawa siya at inaalagaan at nag-i-improve at nagdi-develop, and most of the time habang tumatagal yung tanim, mas lalo siyang gumaganda. So walang katapusang art form. Kumbaga, ang sabi nga nila, ang tapos na bonsai ay patay na bonsai. Only when it's dead will the work on the tree stops. Okay? So yun, no? So that's why maraming nagsasabi na talagang bonsai is the highest form of art. Okay? Just a recap, magandang mga topics natin. So when you say bonsai, 2 words, bon, pat, sai is tree. So when you say bonsai, it is a tree in a pot. But not all tree or plant that is in a pot ay bonsai. Kasi yung bonsai mayroong aesthetic principles. We will discuss this later as we move along. Kasi yung bonsai, it involves an art. Aesthetic principles, it is an art form. Okay? Kaya nga, when you do bonsai, especially sa mga newbie, you have to understand that this will involve commitment. Okay? Kasi it's an art form, no? And it takes time. Okay? Kaya kailangan meron tayong commitment, okay? Sa mga tanim natin. What else? Okay, the last topic for this particular video is the history of bonsai. Now, I don't wanna go very deep into it, no? Okay, kasi it's already available in the internet. You can search it, you can Google it. Bonsai Empire, meron. Okay, all the sources is there. Most of bonsai artists na nagpo-post sa Facebook at sa YouTube, and yung mga groups ng mga bonsaists na mayroong Facebook page, mayroong mga topics about the history of bonsai, and they can explain it, no? So meron na yan dyan, no? Okay, but just the commonly accepted history of bonsai, yun na lang i-share ko, no? When you say history ng bonsai, commonly accepted na origins niya, sinasabi it originated from China, no? Okay, it was the Chinese who were the first to do it, no? But later on, yung Spain, sabi may nakita din daw sa ibang bansa. Okay, the Chinese have a term for what they do with bonsai, no? They call it penjing, no? Okay, and it involves, no, a landscape in a dish or in a tray or in a pot, no? Landscape, okay? May mga elements, no? I'll not go deeper. Mayroong tubig, may rocks or stones, and then may plants, and then usually may figures. Usually nakikita mo sa Facebook yung image, mayroong bonsai, and then sa ilalim may namimingwit na matandang Chinese, no? That is a penjing, no? Okay? And now, what else? Some are saying na hindi lang sa China, no? Okay? Itong practice na to, if you try to talk about history, itong practice na pagtatanim ng tanim sa tray or sa paso, makikita mo rin sa Egypt and even in India. And it is said na throughout time and history, galing sa India, no, napasa sa mga Chinese, and then the Chinese, around, if I'm not mistaken, around the Tang Dynasty, nagkaroon ng cultural exchange between Japan and China, napasa sa mga Japanese. Okay? Now, I will not go to the explanation on the history of bonsai in the Philippines. I will have a separate video on it, no? Because there's a very beautiful historical text na I want to share, no, when it comes to bonsai in the Philippines, no? And hindi siya available sa akin ngayon. And I have to do a vlog about that. Okay, so yun lang muna. So maliliit lang na topics. Again, when you say bonsai, it is a tree on a pot. Okay? Pero hindi lahat ng tree in a pot ay bonsai. Okay? Pagkaiba ng bonsai, para maging bonsai siya, kailangan meron siyang aesthetic principles. Kailangan pinapaganda mo siya. Okay? Some are saying na bonsai is the highest form of art kasi it is a combination of art, the aesthetic principles, and then the science, which is horticulture, yung paraan ng pag-aalaga ng tanim. Okay? At napaka-importanting topic yun na i-discuss natin. No? Kasi napakalit ng container mo, may bonsai ka dyan. Paano mo alagaan na mabuhayan siya? It's an interesting topic na pwede natin i-discuss later on. What else? History. Its origins is the commonly accepted origin niya is from China. And then it was brought to Japan. And then the Japanese mastered it. No? They created their own art form, and it became what is commonly known as bonsai. No? May different classical styles yan sila. And then eventually, no, it was spread around the world. No? Which is, you can search that you can Google that is in YouTube. There are better presentation na makikita mo when it comes to history in bonsai. Pero yun lang. Okay? So, yun. That's all for today. So, light lang muna. Just remember na, no, to enjoy your journey in bonsai, one bonsai at a time. Salamat.